Dear, what is going on, everybody, man? I told y'all I was not playing with this content, bro. We're grinding, I don't know, so fucking driven this prep. By the time you guys are seeing this, I believe my cutting program is out. It is a little bit more money than the lean bulk program. Still, for the amount of information that you're getting, it's hands down my best work. Like, I'm super proud of it. But today, I have a very special video. I forget who suggested this to me. If I do find it, I'll throw you up on the screen. Let's darken this a little bit. What's going on here? But we're gonna talk about the cost of prep. I know a lot of you guys have been inspired to step on stage, man. You guys mention me all the time that I've inspired you to compete, and honestly, like, that's the goal. If I won the lottery, I would still be making content to inspire you guys. Like, you guys are my motivation. But today we're gonna talk about the cost of getting one of these, of stepping on stage. Now, keep in mind, some things to remember is I factored in like what it would cost for anybody to do it. Obviously, I'm sponsored by Rise, so I don't have to pay for supplements. Got some of my show fees sponsored. This national show is sponsored. But we're going to go all in all what it would cost for you watching to prep for a show. Now, this is 12 weeks of prep, so this is with a regional show and a national show added onto it. But we're going to get into this. I think we're going to go outside to talk about this. I got to see if the audio is good. If not, we're just going to sit down in here and we're going to get into it. All right, I changed my mind. We're going to do this right here. I was sitting here. I was like, bro, like, look at that. That's a fucking mosquito bite. I was laying out in the sun the other day, literally yesterday, and got absolutely destroyed. So I was like, you know what, this lighting's good enough. We're just going to run this right here. All right, so I got everything in my notes. I'll flash stuff up on the screen. So, like I said, this is going to be 22 weeks of prep. It was a 16-week prep plus an additional 6 weeks from the regional show to the national show. Obviously, if you just did a regional show, it'd be a little bit different. There's a few factors, but we'll get into them. So, starting off at one of the biggest costs is food. At the beginning of prep, I told myself I was not going to go like the cheap route. I was going to make sure that I got quality food. The big expense, obviously, when you're buying food is not the carbohydrates. Those are always super cheap. You know, cream of rice, if you go Pride Foods, it'd be a little bit more expensive. If you're going like bagels or something like that. But it's the protein. So, getting quality chicken breast. I'm super picky about my chicken breast. And then salmon and sirloin steak as options. Also, throwing in like your extra lean ground turkey or ground beef. So, on average, I spend about $120 a week on food. Sometimes it's a little bit more, sometimes it's a little bit less. Obviously, in the beginning of prep when I had cheat meals, that could be factored in there and making it a little bit more expensive, but roughly $120 per week. That'd be like every 3 to 4 days I'd go to the grocery store. Like sometimes it's a little bit more than that. I'll get a little bit less just so that I have something to do. So our food cost is $2,000, $2,640 for food. Now, this prep I did have Icon Meals sponsoring me, but for the most part, I've had to pay for majority of my food. Now, this next one is something that if you are a natural athlete, you don't have to worry about, but diet water. So, keep in mind, for any of you guys that are on the dark side or thinking about going to the dark side, not only do you have the cost of what you're going to use, but you also need to make sure that you have everything on deck in case shit hits the fan. You do not want shit to hit the fan and then you're sitting here scrambling around trying to get your hands on something to fix your hormone levels regardless. So, for the 12 weeks, I calculated at $1,600 for the diet water. Obviously, if you're natural, you don't got to worry about that. Next up, we have gym membership. I tried to factor like every little thing in for the most part. I don't pay for Absolute Recomp. That's like the main gym I go to. I do have an LA membership in which I pay for, but I just factored that in at about $30 per month, and then 5.5 months. That's 22 weeks. So you got $180 in gym membership. The next one would be your supplements. So that covers like your protein powder, your pre-workout, BCAAs, creatine, all your health supplements, stuff like that. This is all like your natural supplements. So fortunate enough to be sponsored by Rise, so a lot of that was covered. But I came in at $1,235. So for me, I go through, now it's a little bit more, because I'm super close to the show and I just cravings are a little bit higher, so I like chocolate a lot. But anywhere from 2 to 4 scoops of protein a day. So that's 2 tubs of protein, a container of pre-workout, and I threw BCAAs in there. Then you have like your creatine, your multivitamins, your health subs, all that stuff that lasts a little bit longer than just like an every month. Now I've personally invested in some posing sessions. So I've posed with Define Masters, 3-time Olympian, 8th in the world right now. Keon Pearson, currently on prep for his Chicago Pro. He won last year Olympian Classic. Now he's 212. And then Ray Baker, who's a very well-known and respectable coach down here. So I spent $235 on posing sessions. Those are typically an hour to 45 minutes to an hour. Various people charge different. So Keon's rate was $100, Divine's was $50, and then Ray's was $85. Now, I don't mean this by any disrespect to Divine or Keon, but I got the most out of my session with Ray, with a coach who is like strictly just a coach, so to speak, rather than with some of the pros. But obviously I got free game in all those sessions. Now, the cost of the show. So my regional show was right here in Dallas, so I didn't have to pay for hotel. Travel is just me driving to like the convention center. No big expenses like that. I did enter 2 classes. The more classes you enter, the more it's going to be. So for me, $260 on entry fees, and then another $120 for the tan. You got to get your tan. Depending on how many coats, it may be more, but you got your entry fee and your tan. You also have your MPC card. If you are not currently part of the MPC, you need to have a membership, so you have that factored in as well. So overall, the regional show cost was $480. If you do a different association, like NMA or any other association, the price may vary, but that's just a rough estimate. Now, you have coach. So I do recommend for your first show you get a solid coach. And I factored in the price of like your average coach, $200, which is kind of on the cheap end, especially for prep coaching. But $200 at, hold on. I swear, every video, you want to say hello?
Hi.
Every video, you make an appearance. It just happens.
I know, I really do.
Insane. Let me call you back.
Okay.
Well, we got a little stop in from the bird, but so a solid coach. If you're paying $200 for a month for a prep coach, that's pretty solid. Like that's a standard rate. Some coaches charge more than that. Some charge less. So you got $1,100 for the 12 weeks of coaching from the coach, and then you have your miscellaneous costs, gas, posing trunks. I just got new posing trunks. Those were like $70. My first ones were like $30. Just any little random things here and there. So we got $860 for miscellaneous, and then my national show cost. It's $350 to enter the show. You have another $100 for the tan. You have your flight there, $400. And then stay, which was $800. So $1,650 for the national show. Now, depending on where you stay in, whatever, how long you stay, that can change the price. Or if you were to drive there instead of fly there. But that is the cost of the national show. And that brings our grand total to 10 grand. 10 grand for prep. So now you have to ask yourself, do you still want to prep? Bodybuilding is not a cheap sport by any means. Now, it's a sport that I'm obviously deeply in love with. The whole process of it, obviously, if you were off season, your food costs might still be up there, and like there's some things that you just are still gonna have regardless, gym membership. But came in about 10 grand. It was kind of crazy. I was sitting there crunching the numbers, like holy shit. Now, that's not what I've spent. Obviously, I'm blessed and I have multiple sponsors. So I get put in situations that not everyone would have access to. But for my 22-week prep as a enhanced athlete, 10 grand. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Definitely a different style of video, but I feel like it's one of those things that there's not a lot of information on, right? People don't really talk about like how much it really costs. So make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the sub button. I think we're close to 5K right now. This shit is crazy. We did finish the giveaway on Instagram. Biggest giveaway I've done. The fucking support on that was insane. But if you guys have any other suggestions that you want as far as videos, drop them below. And then if you guys see a video idea like, oh, that's super dope, make sure you guys like it up so that it brings it to the top. You guys also really like the last video style, so I will make sure that I do one of those for each other day. So like my chest day, my arm day, and my leg day, breaking it down for you guys. As always though, it's been real, it's been trill. It's your boy Jay Lane, and go chase your motherfucking dreams.